Welcome to season 15 of Middle Ground with JLE, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JLE Experience. On music copyright, don't mute on Facebook. I always need to say that. We got another amazing guest for you today. We have emotional mastery coach for high-performing leaders, public figures, and celebrities. Help you regulate under pressure, lead with presence, and protect your peace while you win. Author, speaker, writer, Red Carpet Business Expo Chief Executive Officer, Lisa Drew, ED. D, or Dr. Lisa Drew. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome intro. I'm happy to be here.
Got to bring you out right.
I know. I'm loving it already.
First question, what led you to this path?
So, my background is in education. I always, even when I was younger, my first job was in daycare. I've always done something with the youth, trying to teach the youth, help keeping them safe, taking them to the next level. So that was the first half of my journey, I guess. And that's what my doctorate is in as well, educational leadership. I taught high school English for over 10 years. I loved every moment of it.
Wow.
The challenges just made it better, which I don't know if I'm a glutton for punishment, but
yeah, high school, that's tough.
high school. But the wonderful part of it is they're still babies. Like they try to put up a tough exterior, but the real them is right underneath that layer, right? So it was a good experience being able to see them learn and grow and graduate and then come back and talk to you. And it was beautiful. But even while I was doing that, I was a life coach. So I did transition into my brand of emotional mastery coaching, just through the process of working through my own emotions, right? Because we all go through hard things in life. We all go through our challenges. And I was able to develop a method that was effective on me, effective on other people. And you mentioned my business, Red Carpet Business Expo. I was working with a lot of business owners doing the expos, and that's when I started coaching business owners and helping them through a lot of challenges that they had and overcoming things like imposter syndrome and just fear of public speaking and fear of, pricing, right? That's a big one for business owners. They're very afraid to set their prices and stick to it and things like that. So it's all tied to our emotions. All of it. So that's really what led me down that path, and walking people through that and showing them how to stop fearing their emotions and turning them into fuel. It's been amazing. So that's where I am now.
Okay.
I hope I wasn't too long-winded.
Oh no, this show is all about you. And much times you need to explain it. So why did you come up with the name Red Carpet Business Expo, and what are all the services?
Awesome. So with Red Carpet Business Expo, I created that so business owners could get visibility, right? And every person who's growing their business, every person who has started a business, they're doing it to the ones I've come in contact with anyway, they're doing it to provide a service. They're doing it to help others. And visibility is something that is so hard to get. right? So
Mhm.
I wanted to come up with creative ways to help people showcase their business and to excel, be able to get sales, be able to get more exposure, build their brand. So the red carpet is what I thought of, right? Being able to put them on display in some way,
Mhm.
shape, or form, being able to showcase their unique services, their unique products, their talents and abilities. And I just wanted to highlight other people's businesses.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. 'Cause you ain't have to. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed the service. They make some money.
A lot of good feedback, yes.
Now, what made you go into doing the emotional mastery coaching? Did that's your name, or is that an established name already? So never heard of it.
So, and that's a good question. So I came up with emotional mastery coaching, right? I came up with that concept. Emotional intelligence is what people are used to hearing when it comes to emotions and emotional intelligence. I've read I feel like I've read all the books on the topic.
Okay.
But it's awesome. It's amazing. I feel like it's the first step, right? Because when you have intelligence in an area, when you have knowledge in an area, that's the starting point. Now it's, what do you do with that knowledge? How do you really deal with the moment to moment emotions that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis? So what I realized and what I identified is that every time so I'll start here. Our emotions are tied to our negative thoughts, right? Anytime, well, our positive thoughts too, because we have positive emotions. I don't want to only talk about the negative ones, right? So we have positive emotions, we have negative emotions. It's all tied to our thoughts. So whenever you think about anything, your body creates a chemical. Your brain instantly creates a chemical. And we notice that in things that we have a strong connection to, right? So if you think about someone that you love, it'll change the way you feel, right? If you think about something that you're scared of, like most people are afraid of public speaking. They say that people would rather die than get up and speak in front of a large crowd of people. So people who are afraid of public speaking, even the thought of getting up on that stage, if something happens and their boss says so-and-so is running late, they can't introduce our speaker, I need you to go up there and introduce them, here's the mic. Flood the butterflies in your stomach, the nerves, you start shaking, like you have a physical reaction to something you're scared of, right? And we only notice it with the things that we're very afraid of and the things that we're very in love with, right? That's when you notice it the most, because you pick up on it. But it happens with everything, and it happens so quickly, right? So if I were to bring up a topic that you were like, whoa, we can't talk about that on my show, you're going to have a reaction to it. Like, you're going to have an internal reaction. Now, I realize that is your fear response. That's fight or flight. And it's actually fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So whenever you have an emotion, a negative emotion, your body automatically goes into a fear response, automatically. And unless it's something, huge, you may not even notice it. So we're going through our day being pushed into these miniature fear responses all throughout our day without even noticing it. And by the end of the day, you feel exhausted. By the end of the day, even if you haven't really done anything, because all it takes is a thought. You're not actually in danger, but your brain doesn't know that. Your body doesn't know that. Your emotions are instant, and that fear response happens without you even realizing it. And that's something that takes a while for people to really grasp, especially men, right? Because they're like, I'm not scared of nothing. I wasn't scared. You don't have to be scared. It's not a logical thing. It's an automatic, just instinct, type of thing. So I teach people how to, first of all, come into awareness about when you're going into that response, becoming more aware, becoming more in tune with what's going on in your body, your mind, your spirit, all of that, becoming more in tune with yourself and when you go into that response. And I teach them different, quick and quiet breathing exercises that you can do to bring yourself back to reset your fear response. And then things like reframing is very powerful, because oftentimes it's not what's happening to us that's the bad part. It's the story we're telling ourselves about it, right? Because, we've been on this planet for a while. It's a lot of things that happen that end up being, it seems like it's the worst thing ever, but we figure it out. We find a way through it. We find a way around it, depending on the story you tell yourself. And two people could grow up in the same household, right? Could be abusive parents, could be a bad situation. One person tells themselves, this is the reason I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be better for my kids. I'm going to be better for my family. The other person tells themselves, the reason this happened to me is because I'm not worthy of love. I'm not good enough. And both people will end up being right. Both people will end up living out the story that they told themselves. So that reframe in that moment when you're trying to bring yourself, back to calm, that reframe is so important. The story that you tell yourself in that moment about what's happening is going to change the outcome. Because we can't always control what happens to us, but we can control what happens inside of us. A lot of people tell you can't, but you can. You can. And that's my journey. That's what I help people to do. And it has been amazing since I've been on this path.
It's awesome. Now, what are the differences in coaching celebrities, public figures compared to everyday people?
Not much.
Okay.
Everybody is the same at their core. And you see it too, right? You see it in the situations that they get themselves into. It's a lot of the same, and people are, usually in shock and in awe, and people have a lot to say when public figures get caught up in scandals, right? Because we think that they're different. We think that they have something figured out that they don't have figured out. We hold them to a different standard. So, there are some differences in terms of, they're generally asking and trying to find out, how do I stay calm, again, in front of a large crowd? Or how do I, make this decision? But the process is the same, because our nervous systems are all the same. So they're not that much different than everyone else. We're all human. So it's the same process. They may come with different questions or different challenges, but it's the same method that I teach to when I'm working with a parent who wants to stop parenting out of a fear state, right? Because if you, I know as a parent, I used to parent out of fear, and I still feel that coming up. And when I say that, when we see our kids, and I hear one of my kids about to come downstairs, when we see our kids make a mistake and we're correcting them, 9 times out of 10, we're correcting them while we're feeling worried for them. We're correcting them while we're feeling like, did I fail? Did I do something wrong? You know, we're correcting them, and we're in a dysregulated state. We're upset. We are scared that if we don't find a way to fix this, they're not going to be successful, right? But if we parent from that state, if we lead from that state, if we, you know, if we're on camera in that dysregulated state, it's going to show. It's going to show. And the kid is going to feel, they're not going to feel the love that you think you're expressing. They're going to feel that you're upset. They're going to feel that you're fearful, and they're going to become more fearful. They're going to become more anxious. And that's a big problem with our youth of today. A lot of them are just so anxious and nervous about everything, but they're getting that from their environment. They're getting that from their parents. They're getting that from the teachers. And I can say that because I used to be a teacher. The teachers are fearful because if you don't learn this, it's going to look bad on me. If you can't pass this test that we're about to take, they're going to think I did something wrong. So it just kind of snowballs and keeps going. But it's the same method for everybody, because it's the same pattern that's going on in everybody.
Okay, because I mean, I guess regular people, you'll look at it. You worked that hard to get all that, and you did what to jeopardize it? That don't make sense. But we still make
they're
sense.
a regular person too. Yeah. They're still a regular person. And when you get upset, you get upset. If no one really taught you how to, I mean, we're taught just don't do nothing bad. Okay, but what does that mean when your emotions are raging? Yeah. And you're in fight or flight? Like, that's everything in you is saying to fight. And that can be verbally, that can be physically, that can be, you know, that can be in so many different ways. And then it's like you get overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed, especially when you're not dealing with the little things throughout the day, especially when you're not dealing with the past issues too. But that's a whole another story.
A lot of people ain't dealing with
it builds up over time. Yeah.
What made you become an author?
So my background, I told you my background is in education. So I taught English, and I don't know, I love writing. I love teaching through writing. And I also felt like it was a really good way to explain these concepts.
Okay.
Actually being there to explain it, right? Because I want people to be able to to pick up a book, to pick up one of my workbooks or one of my books or whatever it is, and be able to understand the completeness of what I'm teaching. And it is helpful when I have them read one of my books, especially before we have a coaching session, because you come in with the understanding of the concepts, as opposed to me starting from scratch, right? You can get a lot, especially if you want to, you know, just do a month worth of coaching and get a lot more accomplished than having to do, like, you know, 6 months of it or whatever. They can get a lot more out of reading the book, because in a 1 hour coaching session, I can't talk that fast. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't talk that fast and give you all the information. So again, if they read the book, they have the knowledge, they can even come in with specific questions, or, you know, or say, well, I saw this part. Can you explain that more and teach me how, you know, walk me through applying it, as opposed to I'm starting everything from scratch. And, you know, it speeds up the process for the client. It speeds up the process for the client.
I was on your author page. I put the link on here for everybody. I'm like, 20 books? She a Hall of Famer with this author stuff. That's a lot.
So some of them are workbooks. Some
Hey,
of
you still
them,
published it. Still published it.
the workbook is the Fear Not book. So and I actually have them here. So this one is the regular self-help book. So this is the smaller one for Fear Not. And then the bigger one is the workbook. And that concept is just based on, like I said before, all of our negative emotions are rooted in fear. Actually, I may not have said that yet. All of our negative emotions are rooted in fear. So if someone has imposter syndrome, that's fear that people aren't going to believe that you should have the position that you have, right? If someone has, negative emotions about love, that's the fear that you won't be accepted, the fear that someone's trying to take advantage. It's all rooted in fear. So it's there are exercises in it, there are strategies to help us to not go into that fear response as often, to do those mindset shifts, to do the work beforehand, and it helps us to just feel calm and peace throughout the day. That's what a lot of my clients tell me. They're like, okay, I just felt calm. And I'm like, yes. Yes.
Now, I see you went to Hampton University.
I did. HU.
What was that moment that's have you say, I want to be a teacher? Because everybody ain't called to do that. Some people just, I'm taking the paycheck, shut up, do the assignment, but to really care and put that nurturing and so into a student so they can become better, and that's a superpower.
Is
it? Yeah, super.
I know why you say that. I just, like I said, even my first official job when I was in high school, I was a camp counselor. I just always wanted to, I was always around kids, always helping kids. I know it sounds corny, but I really feel like the children are the future, right? It is. However, whatever they do, good or bad, that's going to shape where our world is heading. They're going to, and I have kids myself, so I have 3 children, and it's also shaping the world that they're going to live in, that they're going into, right? So I was definitely not the teacher who just won the paycheck and and went home. My students used to tell me, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. I made a sign. It was on cardboard, and I decorated it, and I put it on the front of my desk. And I was like, it's not that I'm doing too much. You're not doing enough. So I would play with them. I would joke around with them. But yes, I did too much. I made them write those essays. I made them learn how to do their thesis statement. I made them learn the difference between connotation and denotation. And if any of them come across this video, they're going to have so many comments underneath this video.
You sound like my she was, we couldn't stand her back in 96, but we got out of school, went to college, like, English, easy. I guess Miss Thompson, she put us through hell, but it made us sweet.
And I wasn't trying to put them through hell. I just knew, because with whatever they went in, whatever field that they went into, if you are able to write and articulate your ideas, That's your money maker right there, especially so many people are afraid of speaking, even if you go into engineering and you're not scared of getting up and presenting in front of people, you will get paid more. You will be able to command more. So I really wanted the best for them. And I hope they saw that. And I would always say, I know y'all think I'm mean. And they would say, we don't think you're mean. So they didn't seem to think I was mean, but they did this. The administrators, the guidance counselors, they always gave me and I'm doing air quotes, the difficult kids, right? Because they're like, well, they're not going to mess with you. They listen to you. But I think a big part of it was that when I gave them their assignment, when I gave them the work, I expected them to do it, right? It gets to a point where sometimes teachers stop expecting that the kid is going to do it. And that comes across with the way you give the assignment. That comes across in the way that you speak to them, the words that you end up choosing, right? Even because like I told you, I have children now, so I speak with their teachers. I speak with other teachers who are still, I still have coworkers that I talk to, and a lot of them are just like, these kids nowadays are just lazy. These kids are just lazy. And if that's and I know why they're saying that. I know the root, right? I understand why you're saying that. But if you expect them to be lazy and you expect them not to listen, that's what you're going to get. And it is hard to go in there every day and expect them to do it, but you get a different outcome. Does it work every time? No, but it's going to work more than you just treating them like they're lazy. And
you don't give up. You don't give up on them. Shout out to the teachers, because some kids need that, because they probably dealt with people that have given up on them. So that you want, like, nope, you can do it. We're gonna sit in this classroom until you do it. And they see, they probably get her like, hey, that catapulted me to becoming who I'm supposed to be.
Hopefully. And I've seen it in a lot of the students, but they did always tell me I was doing too much, because I wouldn't let them slide.
As she told you, that's the crazy part. We used to complain at the trade library, like, man, why we doing all this 15-page Julius Caesar crap? This sucks. All right, we done training. Now let's get to work. Let's fix it. Let's do it. Turn it in. But shout out to Miss Constant, man, because Wayne State English, like, man, what? Man, I can write 10 pages freestyle. What you want?
Yeah, but she believed in you, and you felt that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I did break free senior year. Like, I had enough honest, and I just want to be free, just get my degree, put my feet up a little bit. But Jeff, you done gave me enough. Trust me. And the bad thing they did too, all the kids that had regular, not really challenging English, they gave all them her. I'm like, people had to go to night school to get that English 7 pass, because she was throwing out F's like cakes. So they weren't prepared for that level of work. So teachers, y'all superheroes, for real.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now,
I really do.
Oh, for real. Now, what do you like about doing the workshops and speaking events?
The transformation.
Okay.
I enjoy taking the audience on a journey. Taking them on a journey. So painting the landscape of where we are now, the skills that they're going to learn, and showing them the outcomes of how it could be once they develop and learn those skills. The journey, because a lot of people don't know that there's another way, right? We think that just living in constant stress, and right now I'm speaking about the workshops that I do about emotional mastery, but just living in constant stress is not how it has to be.
No.
and not too many people know that. Not too many people know that. And even with all the research going on now, they are tying and figuring out that so many of our diseases and ailments are linked to stress. And not just, regular stress, the constant stress, because as humans, we ruminate on things. We keep thinking about the same thing over and over and over again. And when you're in a stress state, your body is pumping out adrenaline. Your body is trying to get you ready. Your heart's beating faster. You're sweating. All these things are happening, and you're not healing. You're not at rest. When our body is in a calm state, it can heal. It can heal itself. So even on that level, where your health can improve, your relationships can improve, your leadership can improve, everything around it can improve. That's something that I love teaching people. So with Red Carpet Business Expo, we also do workshops on how to grow your business and how to market yourself, how to build your brand, how to write your own books. We do workshops like that as well. So of course those are all taught by me. I do have other people that come in and teach some of those, but again, just helping people learn and grow is something that has always been just a love of mine.
Okay. Well, we reached the point in the show where you promote what you got going on. Floor is yours.
Oh, okay. So I am an author. So you did say that you're posting that in the comments. So I already showed you 2 of my books. One of them that's near and dear to my heart, I'm not sure if you saw this one. It's the Wheel C Theory.
Okay.
And that again is teaching reframing, right? So that's based on, and I'll share the quick story. That's based on an old parable about a farmer and his horse. So I'll say it quickly. So the farmer had a horse and his horse ran away. Everyone in the village came by and said, "Oh, such a sad thing. We're so sorry for you." And the farmer said, "We'll see." So 2 days later, the horse comes back with 2 wild horses. Everyone in the village comes over and says, "This is such good news for you. Congratulations," right? And the farmer says, "We'll see." So his son was breaking in one of the horses. The horse throws him off and he breaks his leg. Everyone comes by, bringing food, bringing things just to give their condolences. "We're so sorry that this happened." The farmer says, "We'll see." So a few days later, the army officials come by, and they are taking all of the able-bodied young men to go off to war. Now, the farmer's son didn't get taken because he had a broken leg, so he couldn't fight. So everyone comes by and they say, they're giving a report, so-and-so got taken, or, my husband had to go, my son had to go. And they're like, "Well, we're happy for you that your son got to stay. This is such good news. And the farmer said, we'll see. So the moral and the message and the different stories and strategies in the book just is teaching and explaining that sometimes we're too quick to assign a positive or negative meaning to things that happen in our lives. We love to say, oh, this is good or this is bad, right? And on the front, it says, don't curse the rain. It might be watering your next harvest. So it's again, that reframing part that I talked about, and learning that mentality and beginning to live from that mentality is going to help us not keep going into that fear response every time something happens, because we're not telling ourselves it's bad, even if it looks bad. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, right? And even with COVID, right? So I'll bring that up as an example. You know, there are so many horrible things that happened with COVID. I lost family members. So many people lost family members, but when you speak to each of those people, there were good things that happened too. I mean, you know, I don't want to get into too many examples. I know we're late on time, but there are so many good things that happen. A lot of families said that, you know, they were able to get closer together. They spent more time with each other. They found out ways to spend time with each other that they hadn't done before. It's so many different softwares came about where now you can do business in so many other countries a lot easier, because you used to feel like you had to do everything in person, but that totally shifted. A lot of things shifted. A lot of new types of businesses were formed. A lot of this, a lot of that. So yes, it was negative. It was traumatic for all of us, but if you focus on the negative, that's going to put you in a certain state, which I'm very, I can talk about the law of attraction and that whole thing for hours. But if you stay in that state too long, you'll start attracting negative things to you. You're now exuding a certain energy, and that energy that you put out is going to come back to you. It has to. That's how all of that works. So it's just that mindset shift that helps so much. And I'll end with this. So feel free to check out the author page that has all the books. I can't go into them all of them right now, but this is a new one. This is a children's book, the Will See series. You see the farmer and the horse, and I have a young one. I have a 6-year-old. So this one came about because of him, and I am going to start sharing it with different elementary schools, because again, emotional mastery is something that the kids need so much as well. So that's essentially it. I do have, I can post my LinkedIn page if people want to reach out and connect, and if there's any speaking opportunities that they want to think I'll be good, a good fit for, that'll be wonderful as well. And just different partnerships or collaboration, that would be awesome too. But this was great. Thank you for having me.
And we're done.
To be here.
Yeah, we're not done yet. This is just a segment. I appreciate
it felt like you were wrapping up, so I was just making
sure. No. We at the segment where it's all about you. Take all the time you need to get whatever you got going on out there. The show is all about you. What made you awesome?
Thank you very much.
All right. And that's anything else you need to promote before we move on?
Just the other books. Do you have any books that you had questions about, or?
What was it like writing your first book?
Oh, stressful.
That's stressful.
It was. So I'm glad you asked that. So it was actually that was a big hump for me to get over with that with that first book. I had started so many books that I never put out. So I had so many drafts, right? And then anytime I would get anywhere close to finishing one of them, I would switch to something else.
Nice.
But this was before I realized that, again, that was the fear response. That was me running from, just being nervous of putting myself out there, just trying to avoid it. That whole flight, aspect of it.
I understand that.
So I did that a lot, which is probably another reason why I have so many out there now that are finally finished, because along the way I had started so many of them. So what actually changed that for me was I was helping, and my son is in college now. He's 19.
Okay.
I was helping my son because I had homeschooled him for a little while. I was helping him finish one of his books because I pushed him to start writing a book. We had the draft done, and then I told him, okay, well, I need you to go through it, read through it again, and see if there's anything that you want to change or put in or this or that. He's like, no, publish it. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You need to do this over and over again, and you need to reread, then you need to go back through, then you need to check this, you need to check that. He's like, no, publish it.
Yeah, I reread my latest book 3-4 times before I published it.
Yeah. And just hearing him just so confidently be fine with putting it out there. So I published it. And then after it was out and then people gave feedback, there were things that he went back and changed. But I'm like, I could do that. Why didn't I do that? And it's crazy. And a lot of times you can learn so much from children, right? From the mouth of babes. And that was something too. And this is bringing me back to, my years of teaching. I hope I taught my students a lot, but they taught me a lot too, right? And it's just a journey. It's a journey. But that's how I felt publishing my first book. And then it just kept going from there. No. After I got over that initial fear, which is something that is something else with the whole fear not and switching your mindset, because when we finally face whatever fears we have, we realize it wasn't that scary to begin with. Like, the thoughts that we had about it were scarier. The fact that we kept thinking about it and we let it make us freeze. We let it stop us, right? That was the worst part about it. When you actually do the thing that you're so afraid of, you realize it wasn't that scary. And I don't mean dangerous things. Anytime. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was your emotion right after you hit send for your first book?
It was a rush.
Okay.
It was a rush.
Shock. Like, wow, you actually put that out there.
Okay. It was still some fear. It was still some fear there. So I do the self-publishing through Amazon. So what's good about that is that it doesn't actually publish it right away. It
No.
goes through their checks and their,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and their whole system. But I do feel like what made me feel a little better about it was that I knew I could always go back and re-edit if I needed to. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because even now, some people, people leave comments and say, well, it should have had this. And I'm like, well, here we go. I'm gonna change, and I'll go and redo whatever whole section. Cause I'm like, if that'll help the people understand it better, then
Okay.
thanks for giving me free advice about what's, if I get a bad review, then that's not, I paid for it that way. It's not really free advice, but
Mm-hmm.
I still go back and edit. I still go back and add stuff or change stuff. So I'm still obsessing over them, but they're out there. They're out there.
Yeah, because it's a different feeling when you do it. Because I've been told.
Yeah. How did you
people,
feel the first time?
Well, I was procrastinating because I wrote it in less than 2 weeks back in
Nice.
21. But
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about getting my degree and some most inspirational quotes. But in telling my story, I attempted suicide in high school. Like no one knew. So I'm like, you put that in there. Oh, I ain't publishing this. Oh, never publishing this. But But God got on my head months later. Like you need to put it out here. Amazon got some go research it, and I found the KDP. I still was trying like this. I'm not gonna hit send. You just get a feel like somebody pulling your ear, like, okay, hit send. And it wound up helping somebody that I met on Instagram that really was about to do it. So that made me start looking at it ain't about you. Whatever gifts God, you got to put them out there to the world. But yeah, I was never gonna put that out there. Like, oh no, they're not gonna clutch my imaginary pearls. They don't need to know that about me. Oh no. Mm-mm. But now it's like, okay, well, what I need to write about now? What's this story about? What's this about? And some people still are paralyzed. To me, it's like paralyzed to write. Just write it down and put it out. But that's a great fear for some people that are writers. Like, wow, I really want to do a book. Like, just go ahead. Oh no, it ain't hard to start. You can talk to technology to do it. No, I can't do it. Like, wow, some people really ain't ready for that next step because it's going to open doors in you to do other things as well.
Mm-hmm. And also that. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's that fear response.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck in that fear response, which I didn't realize that's what was stopping me before.
Yeah, because you got 5 out here. You deep in these streets. You're doing half court like Steph Curry. I'm like, get that one.
You have 5, don't you?
Yeah, I got 5. You got 20. Like, oh, see, I got to get on her level. Now, what has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
Whew. That is a good question. So I would say that my biggest challenge is learning how to master my inner world while building my outer one. So those moment to moment situations where doubt still comes up and feeling like you have to juggle it all.
It's deep.
Yeah, I feel like that's been my biggest challenge.
Okay.
But I feel like I also turned it into my biggest power because I feel like I had to get good at at juggling it all and not allowing it to overwhelm me, if that
Okay,
makes any sense.
I get it.
I feel like it was like, okay, well, either I'm going to figure this out, or it's gonna mess me up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either I'm going to learn how to swim over this wave, or I'm going to get drowned by it. It was like a sink or swim moment.
Okay, I understand that. Now,
You sound like you had a story about that.
well, even
I
doing
hear.
this, I just wanted to just do one season. I had no idea it'd put all those titles down there. I was just a music person. That was it.
Mhm.
And once I started doing this, which wasn't to interview anybody, and to see now over 300 some episodes, 15 seasons, you couldn't tell me that when I was about to graduate in 2020. You're going to be doing this. Like, no, I'm doing music and maybe something else, but I ain't trying to interview. I'm an introvert, extrovert. I don't like people like that. No, I won't talk to them like that. Can't do it. It's amazing. I do music. I don't even tell people I sing. Like, I ain't doing that. So to see the growth, like, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Some people like we saw that in you, but you just weren't comfortable really being you. So I understand that because you got to find that comfort.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Now,
true.
in your words, what's been your biggest impact in the community?
I would say my biggest impact has been working with business owners and helping them get over their fears, because I've also seen the impact that they are able to have on others.
Okay.
So I feel like that's probably why I want to work with business owners and CEOs and people who, and I've coached principals and assistant principals as well. Just they reach so many others, so that by me impacting them or teaching them strategies that make them better, I know that they're out there making other people better as well.
Okay.
So that whole each one teach one, where you throw a rock into the lake and those ripples go out. I think that's been my biggest impact.
Nice. Now, hope makes you feel very comfortable giving that Nietzsche type knowledge for the Yoda game, as I call it. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
Purpose is such a big purpose is such a big word. So the advice I would give to someone trying to find their purpose is to stop searching for their purpose like it's something outside of them. I feel like purpose isn't found, it's revealed. And especially nowadays, a lot of people think of purpose like a job title or a business idea or this big accomplishment, right? But in reality, purpose shows up in patterns, and it lives in that thing that keeps pulling you. So think about the problems that you can't ignore, the moments where you feel most alive or most frustrated. and start there. I would tell people to pay attention to what moves you emotionally. So that's not only things that make you happy, but things that make you angry, things that break your heart, things that people are always coming to you for, right? Because those things are going to point you towards what matters to you most. And when you pursue the solutions for those things, that's when you'll feel most alive, right? Because I feel like when people are searching for their purpose, that's what they're looking for. What can they do that'll make them feel alive? What can they do that'll make them feel like they've done something on this planet?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say. The things that you've survived, the things that you've overcome, and stop waiting until you feel ready. And notice when you're avoiding, because I know we both spoke about we've done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's that awareness piece, becoming more aware of when you're procrastinating and working through that, pushing through that, because it's not about perfection, it's about movement. Clarity comes from movement. And even like publishing the books, like I was talking about, even if you make the move and you realize you could have done something differently, you can go back and fix it. Or you can fix that problem in the next book that you write or whatever it is, right? That forward motion is going to stop you from overthinking, and it's going to keep you on track. So it's kind of like something I would always tell my students. You need to start moving. A lot of times, if I was teaching my students a new skill, or they had an assignment to do, if they didn't know how to complete the assignment, they wouldn't do anything at all. And honestly, that's what we see nowadays, right? Because those students who are in the back of the class with their head down, or they seem like they've checked out, they're in a freeze state. Because we talked about fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. They're frozen. They don't even want to try, not because they don't care. A lot of times they do care, because they're scared to fail. They're scared to fail, so they don't even try, right? But I always tell them, if you take the first step, if you do something, I can help you. And I tell them, I can't steer a parked vehicle.
That's dope.
As long as you're in motion, even if you're going in the wrong direction, I can show you how to I can turn the wheel and go in the correct direction. But sometimes just getting them to do anything is hard, because they're just stuck. They're just stuck. And that's students, that's business owners, that's, even business owners, they get to a certain level. It's not that they're not doing anything at all, right? They get to a certain level, but it's this one thing that's going to take their business to the next level, and they're scared to do it. Okay, let's get started. We'll make corrections along the way, and then we'll get to the destination. But you're not going to be able to learn if you're just sitting still. So start. You got to start. Start messy. Start messy, start wrong, but start and fix it along the way.
That's nice. Yeah, that's some dope advice. So, how did you enjoy being in the middle ground?
It was awesome.
See, told you you had nothing to worry about.
I wasn't worried.
I ain't have to crack no
I
jokes, do nothing silly, get you comfortable, chill back and dropping all them gems out here.
So, how would I do if you had to rate me from 1 to 10?
11.
I'm putting you 11.
Mm-hmm. Knocked it out the park.
I'm gonna get that in writing. I like that.
I ain't got no problem doing it for you. I'll sign it, date it, the whole nine. Because I've had people where they like, I never interviewed before. Like, trust me, I'm gonna make you comfortable. Tell your story. And I watch the time to see when they get comfortable. Some it might be halfway, first 10 minutes, some first 5. But when they do, they really start giving out that great info. Because them being chill, talking about whatever we're talking about. So I've yet to have someone I have to make jokes, do something crazy, silly to get them comfortable, but I will. Because the goal is to get the best advice for that last question while I celebrate what they've done to be awesome.
Nice. I like it. You got the magic touch.
I try.
You have the magic touch.
Look forward to being on your show when you want me on there.
Yes, and I forgot to talk about that.
We got time. Talk about the show.
New podcast. I do have a new podcast coming out. It's gonna be called the Lisa Drew Podcast. I know it's not very
It's an awesome name.
I was going back and forth about names, but I've decided upon the Lisa Drew podcast. The Lisa Drew podcast.
What's the content?
So it is going to be about emotional mastery. It's going to be about life coaching. And I am going to merge it with Red Carpet Business Expo and then also have business owners on there so that they can talk about their path to emotional mastery.
Nice.
I'm going to try to weave it together. But mainly, it's about helping people to overcome their fears, overcome their challenges so that they can accomplish their goals. And then honestly, it's a lot of people that I meet who have accomplished great things, but they're not enjoying what they've accomplished because they're stressed all the time, because they're fearful that something's going to happen and it's going to get snatched away. So that's part of it as well. The journey, the emotional journey, the inner work.
So when's coming out?
So we talked about it. I did my first interview last week.
Okay.
So I'm going to post that. I'm going to post that Wednesday.
And where can we find it?
YouTube right now.
Okay.
My YouTube channel. So I think I should be able to post that like in the comments. Is that how this works?
Yeah, what's your YouTube channel?
Well, I'm going to have one just for the podcast. But let me I could give you the one that I have now. What is it? And then I am going to also have it on Podbean.
Okay.
So my current YouTube channel is at Lisa Drew Emotional Mastery. So at Lisa Drew Emotional Mastery.
That it? I spell it right?
That is correct.
All right, I switched the banner so that could be added on the screen.
That is perfect.
Lisa Drew.
So feel free, guys. I know you're on there already. We followed each other, but anyone listening, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, provide feedback. If you have any suggestions about what you want to see for future videos, I take suggestions as well.
All right. There we go. And that'll be across the screen. I'll get that up.
Awesome.
Gotta bring
Thank you
you out.
so much.
You first class around here.
I see.
That's how we do it, guys. They take you my building and really do it up. Fly people out and do the whole. Do it. Ric Flair was my man from wrestling, so I'm gonna do it first class, everything, the whole bit. When we get there.
I love it. This first class now, but
yeah, it's that first class. But I ain't young yet, and what I'm wanting it to be. So we first class, but I ain't that Dawn Perignon first class, but it's gonna be there. But we be live and have the stage set up, doing it. Yeah. We're gonna take over the world with it.
I love it. I'm here for it. So reach out if you need anything.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be hollering at you about coach because I need help get my thing better than what it is. Get it out here.
Awesome.
I'm working again now, so I'm gonna have the funds to. We're taking over. That's all I said. We're gonna take over. 26, we're taking over. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. I'll tell that now because I don't like drama. But we taking over. Ain't gonna be no scandals with like they got Jefferson. Nah, they lying on me. I always got somebody with me. I got a witness. I ain't do it. I wasn't there.
Nowadays, you have to have a witness with you.
Man, I'm telling you, like, man, I wasn't inappropriate in nothing. I said, I'm watching cartoon. What are you talking about, man? He was right there with me. Like, don't. I watched DuckTales coming up. Scrooge Duck taught me a lot. You get your money up, you don't lose it over no foolishness.
No.
No people with it.
That's the goal.
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
Any final words before I bring you out? You get back to your family, do what y'all do for the rest of the night.
I know I'm about to put the little one to sleep. So, final words in closing. So, thank you again for having me here. This was awesome. I felt very welcome.
And I forgot the applause.
I love the applause. Maybe that's why I like speaking so much. I'm like, ooh, applause. I'll take it.
Yeah. Forgot to
I love it.
Introduced to had applause hit. Trying that out to get better. But go ahead.
Yes. So final words. Our inner world is just as important as our outer world. And actually, it's our inner world that creates everything around us. So be sure to take care of yourselves. And remember, when you master your emotions, you master your life. So good to see all of you, and have an awesome rest of your day.
Okay. So I want to thank the emotional mastery coach, author, speaker, writer, podcast host, and Red Carpet Business Expo Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Lisa Drew, for sharing her story. Like, subscribe, check it out, tell people about it, because after all hearing this goodness, if you ain't doing nothing with yourself, you procrastinate. And ain't nobody else but you. Sorry, we can't give you no more excuses. You got to try. You got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And another hour, season finale ground floor be coming up. So y'all stay safe, enjoy your weekend. And we got a new episode next week. Till next time, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Middle Ground with JLE. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to buy my products, go to Amazon.com for my books or my music. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with JLE. And more to come. See you next time.
Detroit, welcome to the D, baby. 313